I am a brain surgeon with 40 years of experience, and I am here to share a biological secret that begins the moment you turn 80. Most people believe that reaching your 80th birthday means your body is simply slowing down or breaking apart. That is completely wrong. Your body does not just age, it completely reprograms itself. It is as if a hidden switch flips deep inside your brain and your entire system starts obeying a brand new set of biological laws. These are laws that almost nobody ever talks about. According to recent studies published in the Lancet Healthy Longevity Journal, every human body crosses 5 irreversible thresholds once it reaches this age. It absolutely does not matter if you have been a marathon runner your whole life or a dedicated vegetarian. Your muscles, your skin, your brain, your taste buds, and your internal sleep clock all start to behave differently. Your body is not failing you. It is merely switching its grand strategy. It is actively choosing survival over peak performance. This is not a slow decline. It is a silent and massive reorganization happening inside every single organ. Your body is rewriting the very code that has kept you alive for 8 decades. Some of these internal changes are designed to protect you from harm. Others might accidentally accelerate the exact things you fear the most, like sudden fatigue and memory loss. Today, I will reveal the 5 ultimate biological transformations that take place once you turn 80. Stay with me until the very end because the third transformation will absolutely shock you. It is something happening inside your brain right now that silently determines how long you will live and how peacefully you will sleep tonight. Before we begin our countdown, I want to hear from you. Please tell me your current age in the comments below. My team and I read and reply to every single story personally. Now let us start our journey with the 5th major change. The first sign that your body has officially crossed into its final adaptation phase begins right where your senses meet the outside world. Number 5 is the quiet shrinking of your taste buds, where food simply stops feeling like food. When you turn 80, your world does not just slow down, it literally starts to taste completely different. This is not just a matter of losing your appetite. It is your biology, rewriting how your brain interprets flavor. By this age, the average person has lost nearly 70% of their taste buds, according to research from the Monochemical Senses Center. These microscopic sensors that once let you savor your morning coffee begin to flatten and die off because your body stops regenerating them efficiently. The educational perspective here is vital because taste buds do not just help you enjoy a meal. They are your primary biological shield. They protect you from danger by detecting spoiled food or bitter toxins. When you lose that natural defense mechanism, you start unconsciously adding more salt or sugar to your meals just to get the same satisfaction. A recent Harvard Health review found that older adults who lost significant taste sensitivity were 40% more likely to develop hypertension or diabetes within 5 years. This is not caused by aging itself, but by the unconscious compensation with unhealthy flavorings. Furthermore, your saliva production slows down dramatically, which blunts flavor even more since saliva is required to carry taste molecules to your taste receptors. Without it, even a beautiful meal tastes flat like cardboard. I once treated Dorothy, an 82-year-old retired chef who used to light up every room with her cooking. One day, she told me she could no longer taste her own recipes. To cope, she began heavily salting her meals, not realizing that each extra spoon of sodium was pushing her blood pressure into dangerous territory. Her joy of cooking turned into quiet frustration. What Dorothy and many others do not realize is that your sense of smell, which accounts for about 80% of flavor, also declines sharply. Studies show that nearly half of adults over 80 experience partial or total smell loss known medically as presbyosmia. This loss of smell is incredibly dangerous from a health and safety standpoint. Many older adults simply cannot detect gas leaks or smoke or spoiled milk. Combined with a reduced appetite, they often begin eating less and spiral into malnutrition without even realizing it. So if flavors are fading for you or a loved one, do not ignore it. It is not about missing a delicious meal. It is about missing the critical signals your body depends on to stay alive. Before we dive even deeper into the human body, please show your support by liking this video and subscribing so you never miss these vital health secrets. Moving from the senses that connect us to the world, we arrive at the very boundary that protects us from it. Number 4 on our countdown goes far deeper than the surface of your tongue. By the time you turn 80, your skin does not just become wrinkled, it biologically forgets how to heal itself. This forgetfulness is not cosmetic, it is a profound cellular shift. Scientists now understand that your skin, which is the largest organ in your body, actually loses its molecular memory. When you were 40, a small scratch would trigger a highly coordinated response. Cells called fibroblasts, which act as your biological construction workers, would rush to the site following a perfect genetic map to build collagen and patch the wound. However, a landmark study from Nature Aging discovered that in older adults, this map starts fading. The cells begin to wander. They respond late, or sometimes they do not respond at all. It is a complex biological process known as epigenetic drift. Imagine your skin cells as diligent students who once followed perfect instructions, but over decades those instructions have blurred, and now they are just guessing. Some repair too little, while others repair too much. The immune cells in your skin also begin to weaken, which gives harmful bacteria a significant head start when a minor injury occurs. From an educational perspective, understanding this mechanism is absolutely crucial for proper senior care. The structural integrity of your skin completely transforms. According to scientific reviews, collagen production drops by a staggering 75% between the ages of 25 and 80. Furthermore, your blood vessels, which deliver vital oxygen and nutrients to the skin, also harden, reducing overall circulation. Because the skin thins by nearly 20% after 80, those everyday bumps and scrapes go much deeper. Even a mild bump can rupture fragile capillaries, causing large purple bruises known medically as senile purpura. It is not bad luck or clumsiness. It is a fundamental system breakdown where the rapid cellular coordination that once made healing effortless is simply gone. I once treated Marjorie, an 83-year-old woman who came to my clinic with a tiny paper cut on her hand. She was incredibly frustrated because it had been there for 3 weeks. She kept cleaning it meticulously, but the skin just would not close. We ran extensive tests, and her results were perfectly normal. She had no underlying conditions and no infection. Her body was not fundamentally broken. It had simply forgotten how to finish the repair process. This is exactly why minor skin tears and infections in people over 80 can last 3 times longer than in middle-aged adults. But there is a deeply hopeful side to this medical reality. When your skin takes longer to heal, it is not a sign of inevitable defeat. It is communication. It is your body telling you that it needs more deliberate, gentle care. Hydration, adequate vitamin C, and gentle sunlight exposure can actively help reactivate those dormant fibroblast cells. Researchers are also seeing incredible results with targeted nutrition to support wound healing speed. We are about to uncover the shocking third transformation happening inside your brain, but first, I want to hear your thoughts. Have you or a loved one noticed skin taking longer to heal lately? Please share your personal experiences in the comments below right now. Now we arrive at the very transformation I promised you at the beginning of our journey. This is number 3, and it happens not on your skin but deep inside your head. Around age 80, something extraordinary and frankly unsettling begins happening within your mind. Your brain starts quietly rewiring itself. It does not do this because it wants to, but because it absolutely has to. By the time you reach this decade, you have lost nearly 20% of the white matter in your brain. These are the crucial neural highways that connect your thoughts, memories, and physical movements. To survive this natural loss, your brain initiates a brilliant act of self-preservation. It starts rerouting signals and creating new detours around fading circuits. According to a recent study published in Nature Neuroscience, this internal rewiring is the way your brain compensates for decades of daily wear and tear. As certain neurons die or lose their efficiency nearby, healthy neurons take over their jobs, forming improvised backup routes. The result is that you can still think, recall, and reason, but the cognitive process simply does not happen as smoothly. Imagine driving your car through a familiar city where half of the main roads are suddenly under heavy construction. You will eventually get to your destination, but it takes much longer, and sometimes you might briefly forget where you were originally going. This metaphor perfectly explains why so many people over 80 describe moments of temporary confusion. You might walk into a room and forget why you were there, or you might struggle to recall a familiar name mid-sentence. From an educational and medical perspective, it is vital to understand that this is not necessarily dementia. It is detouring. Your brain is actively rerouting its pathways in real time. However, this rewiring is not random at all. It is highly strategic. Your brain begins to consciously prioritize emotional memory over technical detail. Your limbic system, which is your emotional core, stays remarkably strong even as your analytical cortex begins to naturally weaken. I once spoke with Albert, an 84-year-old retired engineer who laughed as he shared a very personal story. He told me he could no longer figure out how to fix his broken toaster, but he could remember the exact day he met his wife in 1959 like it was yesterday. His brain was not failing him, it was reprioritizing. It was actively choosing human connection over mathematical calculation. Of course, there is a more challenging side to this biological adaptation. When these new neural connections form incorrectly, they can trigger unexpected misfires. A recent neurology report revealed that nearly 1 in 3 adults over 80 experience mild cognitive fluctuation due to this misrouted neural activity. This can cause sudden moments of mental fog, unsteady physical balance, or abrupt emotional changes. But this is temporary confusion caused by overloaded circuits, not permanent structural damage. So, when you pause mid-story, do not panic. It is simply a sign that your brain is adapting to a brand new phase of operation. Every new thought, every small challenge, and every single conversation helps light up those new backup routes a little brighter. This proves that staying socially active is a true medical necessity for brain health. Next, we must move to number 2, which is a dangerous shift that happens silently inside your muscles. Next, we must move to number 2, which is a dangerous shift that happens silently inside your muscles. By the time you reach 80, something alarming begins deep beneath your skin. Your muscles, which were once strong, firm, and ready to move quietly, start consuming themselves. From a medical perspective, this condition is known as sarcopenia, and it is one of the most misunderstood yet critical processes of human aging. It does not happen overnight, but rather creeps in, slowly turning physical power into weakness and independence into dependency. According to a recent journal study on cachexia and muscle health, more than 45% of people over 80 suffer from moderate to severe sarcopenia, and most do not even realize it. Even if you still walk regularly and eat well, you naturally lose about 1% of your muscle mass and up to 3% of your physical strength every single year. The biological reason for this is brutally simple. Your body's natural balance between building and breaking down protein completely collapses. As vital hormones such as testosterone, estrogen, and human growth hormone plummet with age, your body begins to cannibalize its own muscle tissue for energy just to keep your brain and heart functioning. I will never forget a patient named Henry who was an 83-year-old retired farmer. He was a man who once lifted heavy hay bales like they were feathers. When I met him, he sat in my clinic and told me that he was not feeling tired, but rather he felt completely hollow. His muscles had not just weakened, they had been actively metabolized. His body had started feeding on its own muscle tissue for survival. I explained to Henry that this process is exactly like burning your own living room furniture just to stay warm during a winter storm. When the aging body runs short on immediate energy, it ruthlessly breaks down muscle protein for fuel. From an educational viewpoint, it is vital to understand that this is not just about losing muscle mass or looking thinner. It is about losing fundamental physical control. When your brain sends movement signals to muscle fibers that are no longer there, you start to feel unsteady and unbalanced. A major study from the American Journal of Medicine found that seniors experiencing sarcopenia are 5 times more likely to suffer a severe fall or fracture. Furthermore, those who lose more than 10% of their leg mass double their mortality risk within 3 years. There is also a shocking physiological twist. Your muscles actually act as massive biological reservoirs, storing amino acids that help produce vital immune cells and brain neurotransmitters. When your muscles waste away, your entire body loses its crucial backup supply. That is exactly why older adults with low muscle mass tend to heal slower, get sick faster, and frequently experience persistent brain fog. The connection between your muscle health and your overall lifespan is absolutely undeniable. However, you are not powerless against this process. You can actively fight back against sarcopenia. Every single stretch, every short daily walk, and every intentional bite of high-quality protein tells your biology not to shut down just yet. We are about to reveal the final and most haunting biological transformation of all. But before we do, please take a quick moment to like this video and subscribe to our channel so we can continue bringing you these vital medical secrets. Now we arrive at the final transformation. Number 1 is the most haunting change because it is not about what your muscles do or what your brain forgets. When you cross into your 80s, your internal sleep clock flips upside down. This unsettling process happens while you are supposed to be resting. The biological rhythm that once kept your nights calm and your mornings bright starts to reverse itself. Suddenly, you might find yourself awake at 3 in the morning, napping after breakfast, and feeling exhausted long before the sun goes down. From an educational viewpoint, we must understand this is not standard insomnia. It is your brain's master clock, known as the circadian rhythm, losing its synchronization with the physical world. Researchers at Harvard Medical School discovered that this clock, located in a cluster of 20,000 neurons behind your eyes, naturally weakens as you age. It relies on daylight cues to tell your body when to release crucial hormones like melatonin for sleep and cortisol for alertness. As your eyes age, they absorb less light, making these daily signals fuzzy. Your body still wants to sleep, but it no longer knows the correct time. A massive sleep medicine review revealed that this phenomenon, known as advanced sleep phase syndrome, affects nearly 60% of people over 80. When this rhythm flips, your body temperature, hormone release, and digestion fall completely out of sync. Your liver might metabolize food at the wrong times, your heart rate might unpredictably spike, and your immune system becomes confused. A major gerontology study found that seniors with disrupted sleep have 3 times the risk of cardiovascular events and cognitive decline. I once treated an 82-year-old patient named Evelyn who felt like her days and nights had swapped places. She would wake up when the world was asleep and feel exhausted by breakfast. Her routine blood work was perfect, but her circadian rhythm was fundamentally broken. We used simple light exposure therapy to safely reset her daily schedule. Within weeks, she told me with tears in her eyes that her body had finally found its natural clock again. This is critically important because sleep at 80 is an active biological act of absolute survival. During deep restorative sleep, your brain washes itself, cleaning away dangerous metabolic waste through a complex network called the glymphatic system. When your sleep becomes highly fragmented, that cleansing process completely fails, allowing harmful waste proteins known as beta amyloid to slowly build up. These are the exact proteins heavily linked to Alzheimer's disease. Fortunately, there is immense medical hope. Exposure to morning sunlight, keeping evening lights dim, and maintaining consistent meal times can effectively retrain your rhythm. Melatonin supplements and light daily activity reinforce this natural cycle. Aging is not a slow defeat. It is your body turning the page to a brand new chapter filled with strength, wisdom, and adaptation. Please tell us in the comments below which of these 5 changes you have noticed most. Share this vital video with someone you love and subscribe to our channel today for more medical truths. So there you have it. We have walked through the 5 profound biological thresholds that every human body crosses once it reaches 80. Your senses of taste and smell fade. Your skin forgets its molecular memory. Your brain quietly rewires its neural pathways. Your muscles silently consume themselves for vital energy. And finally, your internal sleep clock flips its rhythm. But here is the most important medical truth I want you to take away from our journey today. These massive internal shifts do not mean that your body is failing or broken. They mean you are incredibly alive. Your body is a master of adaptation, actively fighting to help you survive in your 8th decade. Science clearly shows that even at 80 and beyond, you are never powerless. You can actively rebuild your physical strength, restore your mental focus, and carefully reset your internal sleep clock. You cannot stop time, but you can absolutely slow its grip by staying deeply curious, eating high-quality nutrition, and intentionally moving your body every single day. Aging is not the end of your story. It is just your body turning the page to a brand new chapter filled with unique strength, deep wisdom, and beautiful adaptation. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these 5 biological signs have you noticed the most in yourself or in someone you love? Please share your experiences in the comments below, because my team and I personally read and reply to every single story. If this video opened your eyes, please give it a like, share it with a friend over 70, and subscribe to our channel for more doctor-backed health secrets. Thank you for watching.